Alright, what's up guys? Thanks for stopping by my channel. My name is John, and today we're going to be taking a look at some really helpful hotkeys in Adobe Illustrator. Hotkeys are essential in being an efficient designer because rather than looking through a list of icons and tools that you can select from with your mouse, you can just quickly hit a button on a keyboard and have your tool basically instantly at your fingertips. Whether you're new to Illustrator or have been using it for years and would consider yourself an expert, hopefully there's something in this video that you didn't know that is going to help you speed up your design process. As always, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like below for the YouTube algorithm or even a comment if you feel so inclined, I would seriously appreciate that. And if you're interested in content like this, it'd be awesome if you'd join our community and subscribe to the channel. Alright, with all that out of the way, let's jump into some of what I find to be the most helpful hotkeys in Adobe Illustrator. So we'll start off with some of the obvious ones, and one helpful tip right to start off with, if you hover over any of the icons or tools that you're looking to see what the hotkey is, it'll tell you what the function of the tool is, and it will tell you the hotkey to select it. So we'll start off with the main ones. Obviously you have your selection tool, which is V. You have your direct selection tool, which is A. You have your pen tool, which is P. You have your curvature tool, which is Shift plus. The rectangle, or really any shape tool. The rectangle is M. The ellipse tool is L. And then there's your line segment tool, which is a backslash. Then we'll take a look at the paintbrush tool. The shortcut for that is B. Type is T. Rotate is R. Erase is Shift E. Shape builder is Shift M. Gradient is G, which is super helpful. Eyedropper, which I use all the time, is I, for quickly selecting different colors. And those are kind of the main ones that are on everybody's toolbar, but are really helpful to know as hotkeys so you can quickly iterate through designs. So one thing that I found really helpful is being able to copy and paste things in different ways depending on the keys that you hit. Obviously, if you select an object and hit Command C, that will select the object and copy it to your clipboard. But if you want to do Command V, it'll just place it in a random spot or in the center of your screen. But if you want to paste something directly in front of something, you can hit Command F, which will copy it directly in front, or Command Z that out. Command Z is another shortcut to undo your last action. Command B pastes the object directly behind what you're copying. So those are two really helpful things if you're trying to double up effects or something like we did in the last tutorial where I'm making like a 3D text. That can be really helpful if you're trying to copy and paste something directly in front or behind rather than going back and having to reline everything up. Another cool one is Command K. Command K opens up your preferences. From your preferences, you can do things like change the look of your interface. So say you wanted to change your interface to white like old Illustrator programs were, or go back to black like most people use now. So that's helpful if you want to change your preferences quickly. Another nice one is Command 2. So if you want to lock an object in place, say it's something that you don't want to touch, like I've already done with this background rectangle of color that I'm just using for the background of this thumbnail, you can hit Command 2. So we'll do it with this new cognitive load in UX UI, which is a video you can check out if you'd like, that I recently posted on my channel. If you want to lock something in, you just hit Command 2, and then now when you try to select it, it'll be totally locked in place so you can't bump it or accidentally move it around. To undo that, you can hit Command Option 2, which will unlock everything on your screen. So now you can see everything is movable again. We want to lock that in place, so we'll hit Command 2 again to lock it back in place. Command 3 is actually another helpful one if you're trying to hide certain objects. So rather than going into your Layers panel and manually hiding everything using the little I button, what you can do is hit Command 3 and it'll hide an object. We'll Command Z that out. So a lot of times when you're working with printers, you need to create outlines from the text. So if you're sending it to a screen printing company and maybe they don't have the text file that you're using, you can create outlines quickly by hitting Command, Shift, and O, which will create outlines of the object or whatever you have selected. Another one that I use really frequently is holding the spacebar and panning around the screen. Kind of surprised a lot of people don't know about this one, but it's a super helpful way to quickly pan around your project or whatever you're working on. So it's nice that you can do that. On top of that, you can also hold Z and move the mouse either up or down to zoom in or out respectively, which is a nice way to quickly zoom in or out. Or else you can hit Command minus and Command plus, which will also help you zoom in and out relatively quickly. Probably one of my most frequently used hotkeys is holding Alt and dragging an object. If you hold Alt, click and drag an object, it will copy and paste it wherever you drag your mouse cursor. So that's super helpful if you're trying to copy and paste a lot of items without going through the Command C, Command V process. It's a little bit more loose. So let's say you want to select everything in your project. Maybe you're creating outlines for everything. A nice helpful key is to hit Command A, which will select everything in your project. To deselect everything in your project, you can hit Command Shift A, which will deselect everything in your project. So if you're applying a lot of similar effects to your project, it's helpful to be able to copy and paste the last effect that you used within your project to a new item. So say we want to apply the last effect that we used, which is a drop shadow, to this text that says cognitive load in UX UI. What we'll do is hit Command Shift E, which will copy the effect and paste the effect. For this, it's not necessarily a desirable look because we already had a drop shadow on there, but you get the point. And then the last one we'll take a look at is Command Y. So if you're working with a lot of lines and you want to make sure that the lines are working correctly without the distraction of colors, you can hit Command Y, which will open outline mode. So then it removes all the colors and you can see just the lines that you're working with, hence outline. And then to go back to regular mode, you just hit Command Y again and it will take you back to the normal view. Okay guys, those are some of my personal favorite hotkeys that I use on a daily basis. If you know any more that you think are super helpful, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. And if you have any questions, feel free to also leave them in the comments. If you wouldn't mind leaving a like or a comment for the YouTube algorithm, it would be super helpful to me. And subscribe if you are interested in more content like this. Alright, thanks again for watching guys. Later.